Welcome to Headphone News, Greater Vancouver edition for Tuesday, December 3, 2024.
Rescue operations in North Vancouver. Rescue teams in North Vancouver, British Columbia, recently responded to two incidents involving overseas visitors who got stranded in the wilderness. The first rescue took place on December 1, 2024, when a hiker attempted to climb Rector Peak but found a trail tougher than expected. After 8 hours of hiking, the hiker called 911 for help due to extreme fatigue and dangerously low body temperature. The North Shore Rescue Team, assisted by Talon helicopters, quickly reached the hiker and brought them back safely. The second incident happened on December 2, 2024, on Goat Mountain, where another hiker faced similar challenges. This person also called 911 after struggling for hours in difficult terrain. North Shore Rescue emphasizes the importance of being well prepared and aware of hiking conditions to prevent emergencies. Hiking in tough areas can lead to dangerous situations, so it's essential to do thorough research and have the right gear. These incidents serve as a reminder for outdoor enthusiasts to prioritize safety and preparation while enjoying nature.
British Columbia celebrates 11,000 organ transplants. British Columbia, Canada, has achieved a remarkable milestone with 11,000 organ transplants. This accomplishment showcases the commitment of healthcare teams and the generosity of organ donors. The announcement comes alongside the launch of Operation Popcorn, a project that delivers festive popcorn packages to healthcare workers involved in organ donation. In a single transplant, up to 100 people can be involved, highlighting the teamwork essential for this life-saving process. Currently, more than 600 residents in British Columbia are on the waiting list for organ donations. This initiative aims to raise awareness about the importance of organ donation and encourages families to register as donors. Personal stories from volunteers, like Sue, emphasize the emotional impact of organ donation. This celebration not only honors past successes but also fosters community involvement, potentially leading to more organ donor registrations and improved health outcomes.
Severe winter storms in British Columbia. Severe winter storms are hitting British Columbia, Canada, bringing heavy rain and significant snowfall. The Central Coast has seen over 8 inches of rain, while more than 28 inches of snow has fallen near the Alaska Panhandle. The Addenbrooke Lighthouse recorded 9.6 inches of rain, and Bella Bella's airport reported 8.2 inches. Stewart experienced 28.7 inches of snow, with an additional 6 inches expected. Prince Rupert is forecasted to receive nearly 6 inches of rain, along with wind gusts reaching up to 62 miles per hour. Environment Canada has issued multiple weather warnings due to these dangerous conditions. Residents should get ready for possible flooding, road closures, and power outages. The increasing intensity of these storms may be related to climate change, highlighting the importance of awareness and preparedness. Understanding these weather patterns is crucial for safety and planning.
Violent assault on Crown Prosecutor raises safety concerns. In February 2024, a Crown Prosecutor in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, was violently attacked while heading to work at 8:40 a.m. Despite being accompanied by an unarmed security guard, the prosecutor was punched in the face by 28-year-old Kenyon Thomas Lavallee, resulting in serious facial injuries. Lavallee was sentenced to 1 year in jail for this assault. This incident has raised significant concerns about the safety of court staff in urban areas, particularly in places with high crime rates and mental health challenges. Following the attack, BC Attorney General Nikki Sharma announced plans to improve security measures for legal professionals. The downtown Eastside neighborhood, where Lavallee lived, faces ongoing issues with poverty and untreated mental illness. Addressing these root problems is essential to prevent future incidents. This attack highlights the urgent need for better support systems for individuals dealing with mental health issues, which could ultimately enhance community safety.
Calls for action on domestic violence in British Columbia. Advocates in British Columbia, Canada, are urging mandatory coroner's inquests into the deaths of women killed by abusive partners, even when they had protection orders. Tragically, more than 20 women lost their lives to gender-based violence in 2023. The Battered Women's Support Services, a local charity, highlights the need for police to take breaches of protection orders seriously. Survivors often report that abusers face no consequences for violating these legal measures. This situation reveals failures in the system meant to protect victims of domestic violence. Increased awareness and advocacy efforts aim to strengthen the enforcement of protection orders and ensure accountability for offenders. This issue affects many communities and underscores the need for effective support systems for victims, as well as implications for public safety.
BC crypto platform owner fined for misuse of funds. The British Columbia Securities Commission has fined David Smiley, the owner of the cryptocurrency trading platform EasyBTC, over $18 million. This total includes $10.4 million for profits he made from customers and an additional $8 million as a regulatory fine. Investigations revealed that between 2016 and 2019, Smiley misused around $13 million of client funds for personal expenses and gambling. The company EasyBTC was shut down in 2022. This case highlights the urgent need for stronger rules in the cryptocurrency sector to protect investors. We can expect increased scrutiny to ensure consumer safety in the rapidly changing digital currency market. These fines reflect growing concerns about how cryptocurrency platforms are managed and their accountability to customers.
Review of healthcare waiting period in British Columbia. British Columbia's Health Minister, Josie Osborne, has announced plans to reassess the 3-month waiting period for the Medical Services Plan, or MSP, that new residents must go through before receiving healthcare. This policy has created serious challenges, as seen in a case from April where a stabbing victim had to pay medical bills right after arriving in Canada. Dr. Shira Goldenberg, an associate professor and public health researcher, highlighted the financial pressure on families, explaining that many have to choose between basic needs and medical expenses. The waiting period unfairly impacts racialized groups and can lead to worse health outcomes, as people may delay seeking necessary care. Addressing this issue is essential for improving healthcare access and fairness in British Columbia, a province known for its diverse immigrant population. The review could result in policy changes that enhance support for new residents and lessen financial burdens. Understanding the implications of the MSP waiting period is crucial for both residents and policymakers.
Class action lawsuit by female police officers in British Columbia. A class action lawsuit is currently being considered in the British Columbia Supreme Court. 6 female police officers are claiming they faced harassment and discrimination based on their gender while on the job. This case shines a light on significant problems within law enforcement related to workplace culture. The hearings are happening this week and focus on how the situation has affected the office's feelings. At least a dozen lawyers are representing various defendants, including local governments and police boards. This case highlights the urgent need for major changes to address gender discrimination in police forces. If successful, this lawsuit could lead to important policy changes that not only impact the officers involved but also affect the trust the broader community has in law enforcement. The ongoing proceedings reflect a growing movement to tackle and resolve issues of workplace harassment in male-dominated fields.
Impact of Canada Post strike on BC by-election. Elections Canada has announced that voter registration cards will not be sent out for the upcoming special election in Cloverdale-Langley City, British Columbia, due to a strike by Canada Post workers. This election is set for December 16, 2024, following the resignation of former Liberal MP John Aldig. The strike began on November 15, with over 55,000 postal workers halting mail deliveries across the country. Voters have until December 10 to register or update their information online. This strike could lead to fewer people voting, as many may not receive important registration details. The situation highlights ongoing labor talks between the Canadian Union of Postal Workers and Canada Post, which could impact future elections and public trust in the electoral process.
Increase in workplace violence claims in British Columbia healthcare. New data from WorkSafe BC, the workplace safety regulator in British Columbia, Canada, shows that there were more than 1,800 reports of workplace violence in the healthcare sector in 2023. This is an increase from about 1,624 reports in 2022. The report reveals that 649 events involved nurse aides, orderlies, and patient service associates, while 525 affected registered and licensed practical nurses, and 471 involved social and community service workers. This rise in reported incidents may indicate both an actual increase in violence and a growing willingness among workers to report these events. In response, WorkSafe BC carried out many inspections and issued safety orders in 2023, focusing on violence risk assessments and workplace policies. BC's Health Minister, Josie Osborne, highlighted the importance of safety for healthcare workers and noted the hiring of 750 relational security officers across 30 healthcare sites to improve safety measures. The rise in workplace violence in healthcare is a serious concern, potentially impacting staff retention and the quality of patient care. Tackling these issues requires continuous efforts from healthcare providers, regulators, and government officials to create a safer working environment.
Rising femicide rates in British Columbia. A new report from Battered Women's Support Services, or BWSS, reveals shocking rates of femicide in British Columbia, Canada. In 2022, 24 women were killed, which is double the average from 2015. Already in 2024, 20 women have lost their lives to femicide. The report, titled, Justice or Just a Piece of Paper, points out serious shortcomings in the protection for victims of domestic violence. Angela Marie McDougall, the executive director of BWSS, emphasizes the urgent need for reforms to better safeguard women. The COVID-19 pandemic has made things worse, increasing isolation and control over victims. BWSS provides vital help services, including helplines and legal support. The rising femicide rates highlight a broader issue of violence against women, calling for immediate action from communities and lawmakers to ensure safety and support for those affected.
Fog advisory for Lower Mainland drivers. A weather advisory has been issued for the Lower Mainland, which includes Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley in British Columbia, Canada. Drivers should be cautious of very low visibility caused by thick fog, creating dangerous driving conditions. Environment Canada announced this advisory on Monday evening, indicating that the fog is expected to clear up by late Tuesday morning. Fog often forms due to weather systems that trap moisture near the ground. To stay safe, drivers are advised to slow down, maintain more space between vehicles, and use regular headlights. Being aware of these conditions is essential for preventing accidents and ensuring a safe journey in the affected areas. That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.